Hi, Looney. My name's Lashawna.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How's your day going?
It's good. I mean, just started a few hours ago, but it's
Yeah,
good.
what
It's
time
kind of a
is it over
sleepy
there?
day. It's 1. It's 6
Oh,
for you
okay.
guys, right? Is it
Yeah.
6 for you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's 6 o'clock.
it,
Yeah.
it looks dark
It's
out. I'm
it
just
is
like,
dark.
whoa.
Yeah, it's proper dark. Though
Yeah,
I hate when it gets dark like this so quickly, but
so
summer
early.
soon come before we know it.
I know I'm ready for it. It's actually like you can't really tell because of the lighting, but it's like snowing outside behind me. It's
I was
like,
gonna ask because I
yeah,
heard Canada is like proper snowed,
yeah,
but it's
it's
it's like this every year, isn't it?
It is. It is. This year is actually not as bad as other years. I'm noticing. Before, like, there's some years where I'm like, I'm just staying inside for months. I'm just gonna
Really?
hibernate because,
I so want
yeah,
to build a good snowman though.
it's fun. Do you guys not get a lot of snow over
Not
there?
really.
It's
Like
very.
it snowed last week. Was it last week or the week before? It snowed like for 3 days. But the snow wasn't like snowman worthy. Do you know what I mean? Like it was rubbish. But it hasn't snowed over here for properly in a while.
Yeah, yeah. That's the sort of. It's more rain and stuff, right? Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
gosh,
Literally
yeah.
rain.
It's always fun to like make a nice snowball.
Yeah.
Just
Have a good snowball fight. I
help.
haven't had a snowball fight since I was like in high school. But we can't do
Yeah.
anything anyway. How's COVID over there?
It's okay. I mean, we kind of just had to like shut things back down a good
Yeah.
amount, and I think it helped. And now things are opening back up, but it'll probably have to shut down now again. Um,
Really.
yeah, but how about for you guys? For you guys, it's like it's rough
It's
right
bad.
now, right?
It's actually bad.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's like I don't know the statistics, but it's bad. And we've been in lockdown since end of December, and they're thinking about extending it to April now.
yeah, that's
So
tough. Hopefully, though, that helps. Though, like I feel like the places
yeah,
that just wait and sit it out, like end up being okay. That's why kind of things are opening back up now here, and I'm like, why? We're gonna have to do this
yeah,
again over the summer. Like,
exactly.
let's just
I'm
like,
trying to be free for the summer.
yeah, for real. Let's just like hunker down while we can, and then have a summer, kind of.
Yeah, literally. Well, there's so much I want to talk to you about. Of course, the new single Raw and Be Cool,
Yeah,
but I also want to go back a little bit and talk
sure.
about Joyride. But before that, for sure, I want to
Yeah.
just get to know you a little bit more. How did you get into music? What was it when you was like, yeah, I'm gonna actually take this seriously?
When did I want to take it seriously? I actually have a vivid memory of sitting in gym class in like grade 9, and we had to
Yeah.
do like, do you guys have like the beep test? It's like,
Oh my God. Do you know what? I was talking about the beat test the other day with my brother. I used to die on the beat test. I never got past 4. That's for
yeah,
sure.
I can't, fam, I can't run. I just can't do it.
That's
My body
exactly it.
just, I just can't. And I have like a vivid memory of like getting out really early. I was like one of the first people out, and I was just sitting there on the benches, and I was just listening to, I think I was listening to like a Jasmine Sullivan song, and I was like, I want to be out of school and be making music. So I don't know if that was the first time I took it seriously, but I have a vivid memory of that. And I was like, I don't want
Yeah.
to be here.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. The beep
Yeah,
test will make you feel like that for
yeah.
sure.
The beep test will maybe make you choose a career you don't even want to choose. You just want to like be
Literally.
out of the beep test, out of gym
Literally.
class.
I was
I think
terrible at that.
yeah, me too, me too. I can't run to save my life, so
Yeah.
that. But on a more serious note, I took it more serious probably. Well, sort of. I was always sort of forced into not being able to take it serious. Like I went to university after high school because my parents really wanted me to go,
Mm.
and they're kind of like, if you just do this and you go through it, then if you really want to do music, you can like, we'll allow you to do that after a
Yeah.
bit. Not a lot of judgment, at least not for the first year. But I really like wanted to do it. I probably wanted to since like in high school. I wanted to start taking it serious, but I didn't really get a chance to until after university. So
Yeah.
that was
That's
like
kind of like
3
what
years
happened
ago.
with me. Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
doing uni and then I was like to my mum and dad, I was like, I need just a year to focus on what I need to focus on. But
yeah.
the
And
years
it's
and I'm still trying.
yeah, no, but I feel like you still like a year isn't long enough to get anything really done, but it's enough to like lay down some groundwork so
No,
that
it's not.
yeah, like yeah, it's not long it's done that look promising and then
Yeah.
start to build. But yeah, I think it's been like 3 years now since I finished. So yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily my
That's
parents
sick.
are patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's like on my end. So what kind of music did you grow up on? Obviously you said you mentioned Jasmine Sullivan you was listening to in high school. I'm sure
Hmm.
a lot of people as I was for sure. So what else was it that was in your ears?
Like growing up, it was a lot of like the Roots and like
Mm.
D'Angelo and like Sade, Erica Badu, Maxwell, like all those folks, like a lot of like neo soul type of stuff. So I'm trying to think. My parents were super into like alternative. So growing up, I was listening to like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and like that was just playing around my house. A lot of like guitar based alternative music. It kind of just pulled from everywhere though. So I think just sort of having them be super eclectic, and then growing up, like just where I grew up and listening to a bunch like neo soul and hip hop. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
yeah, you
cool.
was listening to all the greats,
Yeah.
which makes sense when it comes to, of
Oh,
course.
thanks. Yeah, I don't. It's weird. Like I don't. It's weird. It's like I took in all that kind of music, and I don't really think I sound like it. But sometimes I'll hear like the odd comment from someone where they're like, "Oh, it reminds me of this." I'm like, "Oh, sick." I
Yeah.
have no idea. I guess just
Yeah.
sort of like, yeah, you kind of just absorb, I guess, the music you listen to, and then you make, I guess,
Because
somewhat
you have a
similar.
really soulful sound, like proper like soulful, I'd say neo soul type vibe sometimes.
Thanks. Yeah, I just
Um,
like stuff that
but
feels
no,
good.
yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
You can tell. You can
Thanks.
tell. Let's talk a little bit about Joyride.
Hmm.
So this was released last year, April.
Yeah.
So it's not even a whole year.
No.
What's your What's your favorite song
Off Joyride.
on this of Joyride?
I think it's No. No is I think my
I
favorite
like No a
one.
lot as well.
Yeah, but like
I
White Lie
do.
is up there. It's tough. So it kind of
White, I
depends on
think
the day.
White Lie is my favorite, but I do love
Oh
No a
really?
lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like No too because the way that song even just came together, it didn't feel like it would. It was just me like super tired one night recording myself and just kind of
Yeah.
having fun with it. And then it kind of turned into this thing that I thought was really like interesting. Um,
Mm.
so I think No is my favorite, but I don't know. Sometimes too. Also, there's a song on there called Ghosts that like wasn't a
Yeah.
single, but like sometimes I forget about it and then I hear it and I'm like, I love
Damn.
this song. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
But I think it's
The
No.
EP as a whole is so nice. It's so cohesive as well. Sounds good. Just
Thank
easy
you.
listening. Do you know what I mean?
Like we
It's
made
banging.
it. It's about. I feel like it feels really like really cohesive because we made it like technically over like 6 days. Like they weren't all together, but the
Really?
songs that got chosen were from like 6 different days. We were like, yeah, me and my camping out together, and
Damn.
like that project came together actually
Yeah.
really fast. So it's always kind of weird. Yeah, it's weird how
That's
fast it came
sick though.
together. Whereas this new one has not. Yeah, no, for real. That's why it feels like it's all in the same world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't must feel like that. On reflection though, how do you feel about the response to it? How do you feel about the whole EP as a project, as a body of work now, like a year later now?
I still like it. I think I like the cohesiveness a lot, and like even though it took like it was really like actually came together really quickly. I was talking to like my producer Akil about it, and I was like, it's crazy how fast we made that project. And he's like, yeah, but think about it. We'd also been making music for a whole year like before that, and none of what we
Yeah.
made it. So it's kind of like
Mm.
we were like just finding this groove that then became this project.
Yeah.
So I actually forget about it when I put on music. I don't even listen to it back because it's just like I've spent so much time listening to all the flaws in it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like to mix it, I'm like, oh, I want to fix this, I want to fix that, then I fix it. It's a lot of like just pushing and pulling with it. So then when it's out, I kind of don't listen. But I did re-listen recently, which is how I remembered I liked the song Ghosts, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this sounds pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
so listening back, yeah, no, I do like it, and I think it's short and sweet, which I like. It's like
Yeah.
16 minutes or something. Like it's not very
Yeah. About
long.
that.
So yeah, and we did spend a lot of time on it. Even though it came together quickly, like it still took a lot of time to finish it. And
Yeah.
yeah, when I listen, I like there's a bunch of little details I'm still happy with. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, you mentioned Akil. I wanted to speak about him a little bit because you work a lot with him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, is it important for you to work with a producer very closely to you like that, and just stick to someone that knows your sound and stuff?
It definitely, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not like we don't have to, like, I'm down to work with whoever, and I love kind of like catching different people's ear and hearing different people's like sauce on things. But
Yeah.
definitely, like, Akil has also just like learned the kind of like chords I like, and like he knows what kind of sounds I like, and he knows what I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of knows what I like, so it makes things go faster
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like he knows when he has the beat that he knows I'll love, and then that I'll probably be able to write something that we both
Mm.
like on it. Yeah, it's nice working closely with someone because
Yeah.
there's a lot of trust there. So it
Yeah,
can
of
just get really
course.
fun with like what we're gonna create. Cause I already know I like his ear, and I already know
Yeah,
like there's like that trust there. So sometimes we can just like get weird, and it ends up being something kind of cool.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
that's sick. I
Mm-hmm.
love that.
Yeah,
I
fun.
read in an article that Joyride explains relationships from neighborhoods where you grew up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and each song traces through distant relationships, old loves, and ghosts that you can't seem to shake. Um,
Yeah.
would you say you used Joyride as an outlet to, you know, just let things go?
Yeah, 100%. I was like back in, it was actually after university, and I moved back to Scarborough in Toronto, and
Yeah,
I just found myself like in the same sort of like spaces with similar people that I hadn't seen for so long, and like it was very sort of like nostalgic and weird, and it kind of felt like the same things I was going through before I left
yeah,
were now like resurfacing. And then I think that it just sort of inspired me to like make this thing, this one final thing, to like then
mm,
kind of like evolve past it. um
yeah.
yeah, so for sure it was definitely an outlet. Yeah.
Yeah. I always find it weird when like when you link up with like friends that know you from when you're really young, and then you've had a period of time when you haven't seen them, when you haven't spent any time with them, and then you see each other again, and everything's different. And there's like little things that it's like, oh yeah, we can relate on that
Yeah.
page because we went through it together or whatever. But then there's a whole new life that I have to get to know
Yeah.
with you
No, for
now. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, for real. For real. And sometimes it's the flip side
Yeah.
too, where all of a sudden you're there and you're like, oh, this is the exact dynamic we've always had, for better or for
Yeah.
worse. Sometimes it's for worse. And it's
Yeah,
just like, oh
exactly.
right, I forgot that this is how this is.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, it was a bit of that.
Yeah. Do you ever listen back to any of the songs and feel like you haven't healed from certain situations, or you're still healing and it's like, well, that's still quite hard to listen to?
I think I feel a bit better, but honestly, since I've like wrote it and put it out, I feel like genuinely like many times better. Like I feel like just
That's good.
a lot better about everything. But I feel like
Yeah.
that type of thing isn't always linear. So there's definitely probably like off days. I don't
Yeah.
listen to it
Yeah.
that much anymore because it's like done. But I feel like if I was in a certain mood and I listened to a few of the songs, I might be back in my feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
but there's something about making it and then actually just like releasing it that's
Yeah.
so
Letting it go.
cathartic that it kind of feels like I'm over it. It's like, oh, I've already been over this. So if I
Yeah.
want to listen to it, that's also kind of why I made it, so that like I could stop going through like redoing situations in my mind and like reliving them, and kind of just like make something of it. And then when I want to revisit it on my own terms, I can just listen to the song. So it's kind of that, and it made me feel a lot better. I don't really
Yeah.
feel, yeah, I feel for the most part pretty good whenever I
Yeah.
do happen.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
will hit you.
Yeah, it'll hit.
Yeah. I hear
Yeah.
that. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the new stuff. So, Be Cool, first and
Yeah.
foremost, song. And I love the video because it reminds me of how I used to, no, I'm not going to say used to. I'm a big crusher. If I crush on someone, I crush like hard. Then I'm telling all my friends about it, and everyone has to know. And like, I'm writing my name and your name and love hearts and all that stuff. I'm just like, bro, this is literally how I was in school.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to channel that because like having a crush feels so dumb, and like
It
whenever I have one, I'm
does.
trans silly, and like I also, it's not the type of thing I want to write about. Like Joyride was a lot darker and like all these other things, and I kind of felt like something like this is too simple. But it was COVID times. I didn't really have just lighter stuff was the stuff coming to me. Like everything around me
Yeah.
felt super dark. Kind of just started. Also, Akil made this happy ass beat, so I'm just like, okay. And then I just started thinking about someone I was having a crush on at the time, and I was like, let's just do this. And it just
Yeah.
felt good and it was fun, but it feels silly. And I think the song like even has moments that feel sort of like it's very upbeat and like kind of silly in itself, and that's just
Yeah.
like what it feels like. It's very like disorienting, and you kind of feel like a kid again. So yeah,
Yeah.
the video sort of feels like that too. It's just very like naive and like playful because
Yeah.
that's how it feels.
Do you know what I love about the video when you're like when you're around everyone and you're practicing how to give the flowers? I'm just like, this is something I would do. I remember like being 16 and my crush calling me, and I'm practicing before he calls me. I'm practicing how to say hello on the phone. I'm like, hello,
Mm-hmm.
hello, hello. How, do
You
you know what I
overthink
mean?
everything. Yeah,
Everything
you overthink everything to the point that you just end up looking mad awkward. Like, yeah, that's
is
exactly how
so
I am
crazy.
too. Definitely not smooth.
Yeah,
Like, I can't do
crushes are
it.
sick, but it is a funny phase in life.
And especially
But
like with
then
this, yeah. No,
And
sorry, I
then
was
we
gonna say,
go on
especially
to
this
Raw.
big age, like I'm so
Exactly.
like I feel I'm like, why is this
Exactly.
happening?
It's
Sorry,
stupid.
continue.
Let's go to Raw, because from Be Cool to Raw, it's just like, okay, cool. Let's get grown and sexy now.
Yeah,
Do you
there's a
know
bit
what I
of a switch.
mean? How
Yeah.
are you feeling about the response to this one?
Oh, it's really like it's nice. I feel like people seem to like the response has been good overall, so that's been like nice because I definitely it's close to my heart. And we made it actually really. It was like a surprise sort of song. Like we made it actually in December, and all of a sudden it just kicked another song off my project, and we were like, "Whoa, this made more sense." So it was kind of like a happy sort of like mistake. We were just fooling around one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been quick, like making it and then putting it out, but it's been like a nice response. So
Yeah. I'm sure everyone's loving it. So you have a project coming?
yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay. Cool. How far along is it?
It's actually like as of like last week, we finally have the track list. I think
Oh,
finally
so it's
nailed
like,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, some of the songs they're just like all in the mixing process right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it feels good. And then also too, we always add stuff while we're mixing, so things like
Mm,
are never really finished until we're like submitting it
yeah.
into to get released. But it's yeah, it needs a little bit more finishing up, but it's getting close, so that's exciting.
Yeah. What can people expect from it, sound wise?
I think it's like a lot lighter and more playful and like more romantic
Okay.
and like whereas JOYRiDE was kind of like very like dark and brooding and like kind of focused I guess lyrically a lot on like the past. This one is a lot just about like what's right in front of you, like in the moment and like maybe
Yeah.
even like towards the future. And there's also like it has like a story like from start to finish, so I'm excited to kind of hear what people get from that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's one thing I've found with Raw. As much as it's really sexy, it's so romantic as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to feel like. I didn't want it to feel like overly sexy. I wanted to feel because like everyone sort of had different perceptions
Yeah,
of the song when I
yeah.
played it for them. Like some people were like, "This is nasty," and I was
Exactly. Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. You could take so many different vibes from it, but once you
"Yeah,
look at and you really take in what you're saying, it's proper romantic.
yeah, thank you."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanted to just make like a love song that people could get different sort of that people could like feel in their own way. But yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
just feel really good and like my friend Nev, who's got an amazing voice, he's singing on the chorus with me, and his voice is just so it just hugs you. So it just feels
Yeah.
the chorus just feels like a hug because of his
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that. So what's next after this? Well, the EP will soon come, I guess. Or
yeah. I think it's like in June, so like in a few
okay,
months. There's a few more
sick.
singles before that, so I'm excited to see how those,
Yeah,
yeah, to have those out in the world. But yeah,
that's fire.